I'm sure most Zelda fans can agree that their favorite sword is the Master Sword. Who doesn't love a self-healing legendary sword bathed in divine light and the only sword that can seal the darkness? But on its own, it isn't very strong with a base damage of 30. Yeah, you can fuse other material to it and make it much stronger, but what if you could beef up your Master Sword before fusing? Stick around for another 5 seconds and I'll teach you everything you need to know about the Master Sword upgrade glitch in Tears of the Kingdom. In Breath of the Wild, if you had the DLC, you could tackle the Master Trials to upgrade your Master Sword, boosting its damage from 30 all the way up to 60. But here's the thing, we don't have the DLC anymore. So, the Master Sword is back sitting at its base damage of 30, unless you fuse something to it. The Master Sword glitch allows you to add a weapon modifier like the attack up buff to your Master Sword, and that's a game changer. Okay, enough of all that, let's get right into it. How do you get a beefed up Master Sword? The first step is to get any random sword with a buff that you want to transfer. And make sure that it's at its full durability, meaning that you haven't used it yet. You'll know that it's unused if it's glimmering in your inventory. And if you're not sure where to find a weapon with modifiers, the Zelda Dungeon interactive map is super handy. Just type in the name of the sword you're looking for. For example, I searched for a Royal Broadsword and I found one at the Akala Citadel ruins. Here's how to get that one. Travel to the Domizuin Shrine and then go left and all the way to the edge. Then drop down to the next level. You'll find a chest stuck in the ground. Save your game before opening the chest, just in case the weapon doesn't have the modifier you're after. And if it doesn't, just reload your save and try again. Another method is to use rock octoroks in the Elden region. Just toss a weapon in front of one and it'll suck it up and spit it back out with a random modifier. The cool thing, this also restores the weapon's durability. But you can only do this once per blood moon, so I recommend saving before throwing the weapon. That way you can reload if you don't get the modifier that you want. Otherwise, you'll need to find more rock octoroks. Oh, and a heads up, be ready to catch that weapon when it gets thrown back at you. Alright, once you've got your weapon with the modifier of your choice, we can move on to step 2. Head on over to the Lookout Landing, and when you get there, save your game. Now, stand in front of the Skyview Tower, turn around, and walk straight into the wall to your left. Do not stop, just keep walking until Link climbs up the wall, but only one climb. Next, teleport to the Mayaumekis Shrine, located at the Wind Temple. By the way, I'll link all of the shrines and the temples I mentioned down below for easy reference. When you arrive at the shrine, head to the right and crouch at the very edge of the floating debris ledge. When you're at the very edge, open your adventure log menu and navigate to memories. Then select any memory, it doesn't matter which one. Now listen carefully to this next part. When you press A to watch the memory, as soon as it starts playing, press X and then quickly press the plus button to skip it. The moment that you let go of the plus button, start spamming A. If you did this correctly, you'll get a black loading screen with just the spinning loading icon at the bottom. This screen will take much longer than usual to load. If it didn't work, you'll be sent right back to the memory list. But don't worry if you didn't get it your first time, just try again. Keep selecting the memory and spamming A immediately after skipping until the screen goes black and stays that way for a while. Eventually it will send you back to the memory list. And once you're back in the memory list, equip the Master Sword. If everything worked, the weapon that you were holding should still be in Link's hand, even though you've selected the Master Sword. Now for the next step. Watch another memory. Any memory works, even the same one. But this time, you don't need to spam A. Just skip it as usual. And when you're back in the game, you should see that the Master Sword now has the modifier from the other weapon. To lock this in, save your game and then reload it. And here's a tip. If you do this trick with a weapon that already has something fused to it, you'll transfer both the fused item and its effects to the Master Sword. However, keep in mind that you won't be able to fuse anything else to it afterward. This can be super useful if you want your Master Sword permanently fused with something rare like, say, a silver lino horn. That way, you won't have to hunt for another one every time your Master Sword breaks. And yes, the Master Sword regenerates and the glitch stays intact. One last thing to note that nobody told me, this trick is a one-way deal. Once you perform the glitch, if you load a save from before doing it, you won't be able to attempt it again on that profile. If the game freezes and just says, please wait for forever, you'll have to exit to the home screen and reload. And you still won't be able to attempt the Master Sword glitch. It will be broken forever. And that's it. Now you've got a buffed Master Sword ready to take on whatever Hyrule throws at you. And that's all she wrote. If this walkthrough helped you out, give that like button a little tap, hit subscribe for more gaming goodness, and spread the word to your fellow adventurers. Got any questions or thoughts? Drop them in the comments below. I am all ears. Until next time, this is KKJinxx, over and out.